textbook exercise 2.4. The question gives us a utility function, which is a Cobb-Douglas utility function. The utility of q1, q2 is q1 to the 0.6 times q2 to the 0.4. It asks us to find the equation for the angle curve for good 2. So what we want to find is y as a function of q2. So that way we would be able to plot this with y on the vertical axis, q2 on the horizontal axis. Remember, this is a Cobb-Douglas utility, so I'm not going to go through and solve the maximization problem. Instead, what we're going to do is just remember that the quantity of good 2 that the consumer is going to demand is 1 minus a divided by p2. And what's a? Remember, the Cobb-Douglas utility function is the utility q1, q2 is q1 to the a times q2 to the 1 minus a for some constant a. And in this case, a happens to be 0.6. So your demand for good 2 is going to be 1 minus a divided by p2 times y. So 1 minus a is 0.4. So 0.4 times y divided by p2. One good way to remember this is to look at these coefficients and remember that they actually mean something economically. The coefficient A is the proportion of the consumer's income that the consumer will spend on good 1, and the proportion 1 minus A is the proportion that the consumer will spend on good 2. So 0.4 is a proportion of the income that the consumer is going to spend on good 2. So 0.4 times y is the amount of income that they're going to spend. So if you spend 0.4 y dollars on good 2, well, you can buy 0.4 y divided by p2 units of it. So if you want to solve for y as a function of q2, well, that's it. It's p2 q2 divided by 0.4. And so it would be very straightforward to graph that. For any given p2, you'd be able to graph this. And that would give you your angle curve.